Boom! Live and direct on the TruMon Show with brother PT Prashant Trivedi. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing fine with the
Great.
PHI.
Yes, an honor again to find you on the TruMon Show in the tube.
Yes.
Today we're gonna have a better pace with the book that we are doing. That's still a continuity of what we did the last time.
Yes.
We're gonna start with a very important word that I think is twisted beyond recognition, and is the word honesty. Okay, because like you say in there, are we really confused or we're dishonest? Like, because once you start having a little bit of honesty, like semi-consciousness and a little bit of honesty, and look at yourself, you can realize, like Arthur Christian always told me, that you're deeply fucked up. That's what he always told me. He said, we're all
Yes.
deeply fucked up in the system. We have to realize it. We have to be honest. If we
Yes.
don't face fact and be honest with ourselves, with having honesty with our own being, how do we ever gonna change anything here? Like,
Yes.
so
Yes. 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 The honesty thing. Yes. So the thing is that people have changed. Honesty means like you're something what you're dealing with others or the system. You're honest. Like okay, if you're honest if you pay your taxes, right?
yeah,
Yes.
that's the idea of
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. 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 You're honest if you are like obviously like being a slave to the system. Then that's called honesty right now. Okay. But what I'm saying is honesty has got nothing to do with that. Okay, honesty is actually like okay, you know yourself. I mean, anybody can tell what they are like. I mean, if you look exactly what is your limitation, what is the extent of your power, what is the extent of your anything, what is your situation, what is your internal situation, anybody can find that out. I mean, it doesn't, you don't have to be a genius to figure your own self out. I mean, you might not be able to figure out the world, you might not be able to figure out other people, you might be able to figure out other beings, but you can surely figure yourself out. Okay, that's not very hard to do. I mean, that's where honesty comes in. So when beings realize their limitation, that's when humility strikes. Okay, unless you realize that you won't can't be humble, because unless you are honest about your own state or being your level, which I call the level of being, or what is your limitation, then you cannot be really humble. And if you're not going to be humble, then you're not going to change from the state you are at higher, because you are lying about that. So then you can't change it, because you're lying about the you can't change something which you are lying about already, like. So yeah.
Because any being that wants to
Yeah.
evolve, that have a desire to evolve, like, will be honest with themselves. I think it's something that goes naturally. Like, I don't force anything here. I just want to evolve. I go
Yeah.
with the flow, and I'm honest when the situation arises. And also, being honest
Yeah.
with your honesty has a lot to do also with what you were saying. Also, the coherency within our being will bring, that honesty will bring coherency eventually.
I mean, obviously, first it's a first step. It's a very
Yeah.
first step. If you can't do that, like then, and that's why all these so-called new age movements and stuff like that, they get credit to create a like a false identity, sense of identity of yourself, so you can think what you are not. Okay, and if you think what you are not, and then you will be in trouble, because that's not what you are, and then you are putting this false projection on yourself, and then what happens is that you cannot improve from what your actual state is, because you're never referring to it, you're never admitting to it, because admitting is the important one. You have to admit to your actual level and state. Okay. Okay, so if you think you're Superman already and that thing, okay, so then and then you're not. And like how people are like, some people actually jump from the window thinking that they'll be Spider-Man or Superman. Kids do it, like, and stuff like that. So that kind of thing will happen, like nonsense and practicality. And you'll only hurt yourself. The final result of all of that, you'll end up hurting yourself. Yeah.
Because no matter what's
Yeah.
your level of honesty, if you're like you, things will manifest according to this, like,
Yeah.
to your
Yeah.
level of
Yeah. Yeah.
honesty
Yeah.
that you have
Yeah.
with
Yeah. I
yourself.
mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a very because you get affected at mind, body, spirit, all levels. Like, I
yeah.
mean, if you jump from a window, then only your body gets affected first, like, and then obviously mentally you'll carry the scars of that. and then your spirit gets affected too a little bit, because they're all connected. So the whole thing is like being honest about one state will create more, like solve most of the problems in this world. Then people automatically will have a level of humility, and then their dealings with the nature, universe, multiverse, or other beings will go much better once that humility is there. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Gonna go a notch further for sure. The next one is impress. Okay, that one really got to me. Okay, that brought a lot of clarity because I think I've been impressed mostly at people, at fake idols and stuff, and singers and stuff, other than
yeah,
being impressed by the sun, by the moon, by the nature. And this
got it.
should, when you see a lightning, you should be impressed and become the
Yeah,
lightning. And when
yeah,
you see a hurricane, same thing.
yeah,
Don't see it as something evil. It's very
yeah,
divine. All storms are very divine, I think.
yeah,
So see it as you can become the hurricane. That's how I see it.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
think impressed is
Yeah, I
also,
mean,
you say,
impressed. I am pressed. I
yeah,
am pressed into action.
that's
Okay,
it.
you
Press
you're
enough to
pressed
act.
pressed enough to act. Like, like pressed is pressed into action. That's what the point I'm bringing. And obviously, what people are impressed by are things which are just anything which is put out in the media and stuff like that. Whatever is turned into an fake idol, and those things don't have any real substance
But
out there to be impressed by. Like, so, yeah,
even that, are they really impressed? Because I look at, for me, I like reggae music, and I like I look at reggae concert or festival. Sometimes thousands of people,
yeah,
and the message is some band bring a somewhat a conscious message. I would make you listen to some stuff. You would say, "Oh, they have a little bit of awareness. They could raise it and this and that." But the people in the crowd should really uprise. Like if they would be that impressed at
yeah.
what the guy is presenting them, like they would
Yeah,
be. I
I mean,
think
but the thing is,
we're a bit
like, I mean,
numb.
but their music is so weak, and so that thing, and I mean, it's so, I mean, in that particular genre is so, I mean, it's nothingness. I mean, it's like it's a sense of lulling. Mostly, it gets people into like a sense of lulling, like, like you're lulled into a sort of a thing rather than actually like up. It's a very opposite of uprising, actually. You
Yeah,
know, it's pace. It's like it's not that thing of any kind. Like it's not. It's got nothing fiery about it, actually. And
I think it's
it's
to
it's
make
it's for
people
people to
numb
like,
or
yeah,
something.
say, yeah, there are all these things wrong in the world. I mean, once you smoke a joint or two, everybody who smokes a joint or two knows that there are things wrong in the world. I mean, it's not a like I mean, so that's not a big deal. I mean, I don't think that's anything to go again within yourself. I mean, they're also still putting the thing on the outside, like, oh, it's wrong on the outside. It's nothing to do with themselves, right? Like, it's so,
Exactly.
yeah,
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 talk about joint cannabis is legalized today in Canada.
yeah, yeah, yes, yes. I mean,
Okay, next, sincerity, being sincere with our being very important. Because I think we're very insincere also towards higher and divine. We rebel against higher and divine and all the great stuff that we could taste, with life. No? So, yeah, so
yeah,
sincerity, very, very important. And I think we're very insincere in our, in our
yeah,
ways.
yeah. I mean, the word sincere actually comes from sin, moon. Okay, sin was the term for moon, actually. Okay, so your moon is your mind, basically. Okay, and so sincerity comes from your mind actually being in clarity. Okay, like where you are very clear in your mind, and it's not like just fluctuating like a yo-yo. Like it's so insincerity obviously creates that where nothing is clear, and you don't have any pure principles. You're not hanging on to anything. You're just thinking swayed by this or that very quickly. So so there's no level of again, honesty is the first thing. Sincerity will follow after that. Like, yes, so
That's it. But seer, doesn't it refer to something? I seen that word like seer somewhere in the book. A seer is someone with the
yeah,
is
like which can watch things, like a which can see things. So yeah,
yeah.
when you can see your mind with clarity, your own mind. Sin is moon, mind. Okay, it's not a bad thing. The sin is a bad word now. Okay, but it's just meant moon, actually. Sin was another name for moon, which is
Uh,
mind.
Right.
Seer is like seeing it in total clarity, your own mind, and that's what, again, that honesty of seeing leads to sincerity, clarity, and sincerity. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you're responsible,
yeah,
responsibility, that's probably one of the most important word, because for sure you take responsibility, you're gonna find meaning with, many people try to find meaning with life or lack meaning in their life. I think it's
yes,
because they don't take responsibility for their own being.
yeah. I mean, see, the word responsibility comes from responsibility, right? Ability to respond. Okay. So anything, I mean, in nature or in this life, in existence, there is always something there which is happening. Now you have to respond to it. Okay. So that is your responsibility. Like, but especially to higher and divine nature and higher and divine, you have to be able to respond. If you are not able to respond, then obviously you will be in trouble. Like, okay, that's where the trouble starts. So a being which is responsible, okay, like first within themselves, can have the ability to respond to another being, especially higher being, and like divine and stuff like that. So that is very important. I mean, when you're not taking any responsibility for yourself, that's what I say, your responsibility is to yourself first. Okay. Not to anything else, and your own ability to respond to nature and higher and divine individually, not with society, not with your parents, not with anything else, but that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's
Yeah.
also not reactability. It's not reaction, it's
Yeah.
response, right?
Response, yeah, not reaction. Reaction is very easy to do. People can, I mean, even animals can react. Okay. Like, I mean, if you do something, they'll react. Okay, that's nothing. That thing, you have to proact. Like, you have to already be in a sense of action, proactive action. So then you are not reactive. If you are in a proactive frame of being, then you just don't react to things, you stay with your proactivity, and that's actual responsibility, you know.
But there is
Yeah.
that conditioning that we think, I think everyone's like that. Me, I was like that. That the more responsibility you take, the more weight you put on yourself. But it's the opposite.
No, there's nothing to do with weight.
That's it.
Responsibility has nothing to do with weight. It actually takes off your weight. If you don't take responsibility, the weight will increase. It'll increase so much that you will crumble under it, and you will have all kinds of problems. Like, that's what's going to happen. Like, that's the reality of it.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
the
take
reality.
own responsibility of your own body, for example, then you will have disease, you'll have all that. That's a weight increasing, pressure increasing. It's not going to decrease the pressure, like,
Yeah.
actually. So yeah.
Next, you go about with the gene snakes. Gene snakes. Extend a
Yeah.
little bit on this. It's what are called humans and Muggle speak. Maybe you want to bring a bit more clarity in your Muggle speak stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Like in the Harry Potter, that thing. I mean, kids have read that book, and kids have seen that films, and so they know what Muggles are. Muggles are just people who are non-magic people. Non-magic people, they don't believe in any kind of magic to reality. That reality does not have any magic. It's just a mundane existence we live in, and we just live in that mundane thing, and there is no magic to this universe or multiverse. So they are called Muggles. Okay. So now the thing is that when people came to know of DNA and stuff, like, they were like these serpent things, like DNA and stuff, like the designs and stuff like that. So they still did not make a correlation that there was some snake aspect, like, to like beings here, like a serpentine aspect. Okay, which is snakes. Okay, so now whatever your genetics are, then you have a different kind of snakes, which are different kind of genes. Will be like just different kind of snakes, right? Okay, that's what it will be like. So there are different genetics here on earth right now, and so there'll be all different kind of uh, like, you can say, snakes, which are rolling around on the earth without knowing how to get out of here. Okay, when you roll on the earth, only you're just crawling on it. Snake crawls on the ground, like, okay, it does not fly, right? It just crawls on the ground. Okay, so you're stuck here on earth, but you don't know how to get out of it. Like, you're just crawling on earth. You might crawl for 10,000 years, 20,000 years. So your line, your fathers, grandfathers, grandfather, they all be on here on earth, and they're just struggling here, not knowing how to get out of here. So that's what it means, like,
No,
in
very
that way.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next, you go with
Yeah.
the by genes. You go with Muggle, but you explain a bit what you mean by Muggle. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go through it.
Yeah.
Next, you go with white. White, and this is very interesting. I put a white shirt. I didn't know about.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning it, but yeah, white. And it's look, is my skin white? Like I think we
Yeah.
can clearly see the color of my shirt and the color of my skin. So
Yeah. Yeah.
extend a
I
little
mean,
bit because this
yeah,
is
the thing
something
is
we
that
use
that
so
was just
much, the black and white.
yeah, because you hear these terms so much right now. So in this world, like, but the thing is that how people label things something which it is not. It's just to bring it out that people have seen the color black and people have seen the color white, and they're still calling some people black and white when none of those people are that color. No person is black, or no person is white. I mean, I've never seen. I mean, that'll be alien of some sort. It will be white or completely black. I mean, I have
Yeah.
not seen it as yet. Okay, I mean, maybe they see it. But what I'm saying is, it's just the terms. It's just this for terms which are used in general to describe something which are not even applicable to what they're describing. Okay, so that is a schizophrenia in the brain. It creates a like a real sense of like a dishonesty within your being, where you don't actually realize that this is what you're doing. Like you are actually creating a problem by saying this is white when this is not white. You're saying this is black when it's not black. Okay, this just should be removed from everything. So this is just an example I gave because it's so prevalent. you know so it's a yeah.
And again, it's not because when you see white, you're in confusion. You know what's white? So what? You're
Yeah.
just dishonest with everything?
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're not applying anything. It's just if you hear a word and that's a word which is commonly used, you just use it
Yeah.
because that's what it is used, and you never pay attention yourself. It shows how little attention people have, how little they observe anything. So observation power is absolutely zero. Like it means your eyes are not seeing. You have eyes, but they are not looking. You are practically blind for all intents and purposes, actually. Like you are totally blind, and your eyes are there but they're not there. So that's why that when you say the term blind, it doesn't mean that person is like can't really see. It's like you can't see while having eyes. That's
Exactly.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
often I do that exercise. I become very, very observant. And like the other day, I was at the store and I was
Yeah.
here on the TruMon show with Rosen talking about the 88 constellations. And I get to the store, total 808 at 1717. I notice it right
Yeah.
away. I see eights
Yes.
everywhere. The girl at the
Yeah.
cash, like, is all on shock, like, you notice that stuff. But I said, yeah,
Yeah.
that's observation. You don't observe?
Yes.
Like, people
Yes.
do
Yes.
not
I mean,
observe.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is signs also. It's not just an observation. It kind of
Yes.
empower also the journey,
Yeah.
when you
Because
start
it
seeing
leads to
signs like
reality.
that.
Because that leads to reality, honesty, reality. Because through
Someone
observation. Yeah.
someone was asking me about that in a comment. They said, ask Prashant to extend a little bit on that stuff, numbers reappearing like 111, like what I told you. I go to the store, 808, 1717. What does that mean?
Yeah,
Synchronicity,
that
did
that
you
means
see it?
like if you're becoming conscious and you're becoming more aware, that means you are starting to observe the rhythms and patterns. Then you are ready for a change. That means you are starting on a like a cycle of change from your old sense of being, which was unobservant, nonsensical, like just in the system. Like let's say, like from the Muggle world, you are trying to transition into magic world. So, so it is just a journey on that. Like it's just starting points, little points on the journey. Like that's this.
Okay, because I
Yeah,
guess that
yeah,
the more you go on a journey, the more potent, the more bigger the sign will
yeah,
be. And
yeah. Yes,
at
yes.
one point, like you're gonna do with the lightning and the stuff. I mean,
Yeah. I
does
mean,
anyone have the capability, the possibility, or the capability? By capability comes with practice, but the possibility to do like you do, like to control the
I mean,
elements and stuff, or it's
the
just
thing is
given to a
that
certain amount of.
I mean, there are all beings all over this multiverse which have that ability because they are at that level. Okay, they're
Okay,
called rishis and stuff. Okay, but whether they are going to be born here on earth right now, that's another matter or not. Like okay, so
okay,
it's not like the beings don't exist. The beings exist like that, but whether they are born on earth here right now, that's not that thing. So whenever you see a being who can do that, then only I'll say okay, some being on earth is also there who can do that. Yeah, there's nothing to speculate. I don't like to speculate in this. Like, you go by what really is at that time, and that's it. Like, I mean, obviously beings like that exist. They're called rishis, but there's universe is a big huge place. Okay, Earth is like a very small little part of it. Okay, it's like
Yeah.
so like for them to be here, that might not be the case right now. So, like, so
Okay.
yes, yeah,
After you go on with vegetarianism, and
yes,
that's something that's a pretense that a lot of people have, that they say they are vegetarian, but they don't have the vegetarian lifestyle, like you
yes,
say in
yes,
there.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
important to have that coherency, the lifestyle, and the eating habit. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what happens is that people, when they become vegetarian, they think it's that they can just, that is something to do with what they put in their mouth. Okay, that's all. Okay, so there is a thing which you put in their mouth, but there is something you put in through your ears too. Okay, like, okay, now, like, I mean, which is like music and sound and things like that and stuff which you put in through. So you supposedly vegetarian, okay, which you're putting vegetarian food in your mouth. Okay, and then you are listening to music which is made by people who eat meat, right? So in that kind of thing, so then you are actually getting that same vibration in a different form. Like, you don't understand that, but you are actually getting that. So there we have a lot of senses: what we see, okay,
yeah,
what we hear, what we touch, whom we interact with. Okay, what do we do? Like, so people are not vested in that kind of strictness. They're just starting first steps with just what they put into their mouth, which is also a good step, in the sense that it's some step, like a first step, but it means much more than that. It means a whole lot about what you speak as well, that you don't talk rubbish from your mouth. Okay, it's not just what you put into your mouth, it's what comes out of your mouth too. Okay, like, okay.
and
So
do
yeah,
you
yeah,
think to
yeah,
get to
yeah,
that lifestyle can be done by just the being self-realizing day after day, and just
yeah,
getting to that point also, that because it's like a purge, like when you go from a
yeah,
non-vegetarian
mm,
lifestyle to a
yeah,
vegetarian, like you're gonna do a
yeah.
purge in your habit, and so it's not gonna happen from one day to another, so
Yes, yeah,
it's
but it is more of a question of decision. How strong is your decision? The
exactly.
whole point is, the more strong your decision is, the more you can do it more quickly, and in, like that thing will be much faster. Depends on how strong your decision is about the whole thing. Like, how much are you really wanting to be, or you're just doing it like lightly, like, or just like, oh, like, okay, but not so disciplined, like this much discipline. Like, I just want this much discipline. I don't. Yeah, that is enough for me. Like, you don't want the whole thing. You don't want the whole complete thing. You want just a little piece of the thing. But that kind of thing will never work. It'll like, that's what creates problems. Like, sometimes you will be like that, other times you'll change, and all kinds of things will happen. It's never gonna stand the test of time. Let's say, like, yeah,
And
it's not gonna. Yeah,
that's very true, because I went to Vancouver. I was 19 years old. I came back from there 7 years vegetarian, but then
yeah,
I didn't have the vegetarian lifestyle at all. I was just eating a bit and stuff. I think just mostly because
yeah,
I love animals. I love
yeah,
animals for sure.
yeah,
I
yeah,
care about animals. So to me, it
yeah,
was a bit common
yeah,
sense,
yeah,
but also it didn't have the lifestyle. So it was very degenerative. I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I ended up eating meat back again.
Yes, yes, it will happen, because the thing is not holistic. Because everything has to be holistic. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you do something small, if you do it in a holistic manner, then it takes through time, it goes through time, and like, time cannot change that. Okay, but other things, when you have just like one part, and you just want to do one little discipline and nothing else, and everything you want to keep the same, rest. Okay, I'm going to change just this aspect of my life, just this much, just that much, and that's it, and nothing else. Not my being. I will not like center myself. I will not speak the right things. I'll not do other disciplines which are required along with it. Then those things cannot last for anyone, any being. So
It
yeah.
didn't work for me anyway. I
Yeah, yeah.
ended
A lot of
up back
people,
now.
that's why they turn back into, they say, oh, it's not working for me, and they, like, a lot of people turn into meat back, and
Yeah,
and so it's that thing, and even the vegans and stuff, like, there's people are coming and saying, look how sick I got, because you don't know what to eat, anyways. So you become vegan, but you don't know what to eat, and then, like, you say that you become sick and all of that kind of thing. It's because it's a lack of learning attitude, actually. Like, even after vegan, it's like, there are things in the West which are given to people. Okay, this is vegan food. Now it's a whole industry which is giving you a certain kind of food and diet in the name of vegan. Okay, and people are just like mindlessly just using that and that thing. So it's given to them in that thing. So they don't have to research. They don't have to find out what actual vegetarian diet or vegan diet should be, because this term even vegan is also like a strange term, because uh, the thing is this vegetarian only, like you can say non-dairy, you're not using dairy, okay, but you're still vegetarian. Basically you're vegetarian. And then the word vegetarian, then it'll go to India, because India was the primarily vegetarian country, like as a whole. So that's the place where you learn from. But when you use the term vegan, it disconnects you from the Indian that things, because it's a new thing now. Like in the West, everything has to be new. So like veganism is basically vegetarianism only. Like you can just say non-dairy, that's it. Yeah, but it's still vegetarianism only. So making up these terms creates confusion, and it takes people away from actual, like what they have to actually eat, like which is the final basic point of it. You know, it like just these terms deviate from that. Like yeah,
Yeah. And what about people? What's your thought on people that are like have no other resources? Like think about the Inuit up north
I
here
mean,
in
obviously,
Canada.
I mean, they'll have to live like that. They have to like get the fish and eat like that. There's no other way
Okay,
for them. Yeah,
okay, okay,
yeah, yeah. That they have to do that. Okay. Only thing was that people were not supposed to live in those parts. Human beings. Okay.
okay. That's the other
Okay.
part.
Okay. I mean, because the thing is, I mean, finally, like what used to happen is like wars used to happen in different places, and then people used to run away into more hostile environments like mountains or that thing, to run away from the war, you know, or to hostile regions. And then out of fear they got stuck there once they lived for 5-10 years, and they didn't know the war is over or not over, but they are too afraid to go back to find out whether it's over or not over, or maybe the conqueror has taken over the lands and they don't want to that thing. So that's how people got stuck in these kind of parts. I mean, no human being should be living in like -20 or -30 or these kind of things. Like that's not like like human body is not made for that. Like, you know, we are not polar bears and um, anything like that which can actually live. It has a skin like that by
Exactly.
itself to live in that kind of environment. Like so, yeah. So
No, even my dog has a fur, and she doesn't like -20. She doesn't.
yeah,
She doesn't want to go outside.
yes,
So
yes,
next,
yeah,
you go with evolve. Love. Love is a big word. Love is a big word, but I think again, overuse and lot of misconception around it.
yeah,
Maybe you
yeah.
can bring a bit more light to it.
I mean, it's a very simple thing. I mean, if in love is for yourself first, and that you want to evolve. Okay, if you love yourself, you would want to evolve. That's a very simple thing. That's that thing, and that is the beginning of love and the ending of love, basically. Because if you're evolving yourself, then you set up a good example for others around you automatically, right? And if they want to take that or get that from you, then there is a love there, and through that love, others evolve too, which is was basically your own love for yourself first, which
I,
made
I
you
I think
evolve.
there is
Yeah.
a very very natural process of being
Yes.
on Earth. Like it's not that complicated to process our life, but we make
Yeah.
it so complicated and so unnatural.
Yeah.
Like I mean, life is life, and if you use your biological equipment and your senses, and like
Yes.
you're gonna make great sense of everything, even love.
Yes. Yes. I mean, but yeah, love is again was used so much in a way which to trap people more. It's a term to trap people. Okay, like so people say, oh, if you love me, then you can't do this, or you will do this, or you won't do that, or whatever. Like it's a trapping device which is being used right now as a whole. Like, you know, to that thing. You know, like so it's a way where people are trying to own other people, like create ownership, when the natural law is that no being can own another being. Okay, that's a fact. Okay, of the multiverse, and it'll always be, it's a pure principle. Okay, so so
And also, when you say, I love you, I love you,
yeah,
I and view. So, shouldn't love be
yeah,
associated with a clear sight about
yeah,
life? Like
yeah,
when you say
yeah,
I, the I view, If your
yeah,
eye can view, I don't know.
yeah. I mean, obviously, people are not viewing anything, not themselves, not others, anything properly. So there's no question of any love, or that's why evolution is not happening. I mean, if you look at this whole world, most people are not evolving. Okay, like that is the reality of it, mass majority, and the word love is just being used as a trap to own. Actually, it's an attempt. Whenever someone tries to own another being, they say that I love that. Like that's the fact of it. Yeah, that's yeah,
Yeah, the love
yeah,
is in people's heart is very, and I
yeah,
was like that. It's not for higher and divine, praising and serving higher
yeah.
and divine. It's the love songs. The love song are so important. People are mesmerized, I think, by that kind of stuff. The love
Yeah, I mean,
songs
that's
that
just
we
ownership.
hear,
That
and
is just a very low level ownership thing. But see, with higher and divine, it actually gets tested because you are dealing with something more than yourself. Then how much love you have actually gets tested. I mean, that's where, and because that's the only thing which is going to evolve you, actually
yeah,
evolve you. Like like it's other things are not gonna, I mean, evolve. Like I mean, like that. That is like you care for something. It's different from
yeah.
love. Okay, like okay, you might care for this or you might care for that, but that's just care. Okay, that's different from like evolving love. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Another word like love is free.
yeah,
Freedom. The idea of freedom, financial freedom, or whatever it is,
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of freedom. But like you say, today it makes a lot more sense to me that the real freedom I can probably sense or live or feel. I don't know at that stage how am I gonna be, but it's when I exit this realm and
yeah.
access a higher realm or something.
Yes,
This is the
yes, yes.
freedom.
Because this is a like a prison thing in anyways. You are
Yeah,
caught in a prison. Okay, there's no question of freedom in a prison, right? Okay, you
exactly.
you are like trapped. Okay, like so you will be taking birth over and over and over again here, over and over the same cycle, like 0 to 90, 100, and then back in 0 to 90, 100, and nothing. You're not escaping anything. Okay, so then the word free means nothing. Like what free? Like I mean, you know, like even out here, like people if they think that they have this thing or they can move it from here to there sometimes, okay, I mean that is also very restricted out there. You need visa and all of that to move from here to there or anything like that. Okay, I mean there is hardly any freedom within this prison also for people, I mean you can't go, this is restricted, that is restricted, nothing you can't do, you can't do, like the whole thing is very very restricted. So people don't understand that like just because they can speak whatever nonsense they want to speak, or like put their body in any kind of way they want to, they consider that freedom. Okay, that's not freedom. Okay, like
And there
that's
and there comes the freedom fighters.
yeah, that means that's just misuse of little bit of free will you've got. Okay, yeah, whatever little you have right now and you're misusing that. So what they'll do is that it'll curtail your freedom more, that whatever little you have, you that will become lesser even in time. So so that is you actually like by misuse of so-called freedom. So that word free is a very very strange word right now because people are misusing it again like love, again the same thing. So
And with
you
a
know
very big, like, faulty perception of life at start.
yeah,
So then
yeah,
you end up with words like this. And the idea of freedom is probably financial freedom or traveling from one point to another, or, very, very, like,
okay, I mean even if you travel from one point to another, you are still yourself, you go to that point, whatever problems, mental, any issues, anything you have, you still have those. You it's not, you don't change, you're not out of that trap anywhere. Like yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Unnecessary activities, unnecessary nonsense, and that's what I think, that's what you say here. This the propagation of evil is nothing else, nothing more, nothing less than the propagation of unnecessary activities that we all probably have engaged into in our life, like,
yes. Well, the thing is, if you look at this today's world, like you have all kinds of jobs and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like you have in American stuff, you will find jobs like people have, like they are just cut poodle hairs of dogs, poodles, and they make them more like fashionable or something. Like I mean, there are people who are just trainers to teach the dogs how to walk. Okay, I mean, so I mean there are so many kind of activities right now out there which are totally, you know I mean, if you don't can't call them unnecessary, I mean, obviously then you're lacking complete, like, I mean, because the necessary activity is what, because you have to do action, necessary activities for survival and evolution. Okay, you got to survive and evolve. Okay, that comes under necessary actions. Any action besides that will create, like, your unnecessary that thing. An unnecessary action will create a karmic balance for you, more heavy debt, which is because actions have reactions. Okay, now, so then you'll be trapped more and more. So it's like you're building a big mountain for yourself, which you'll be trapped under, basically. So, and then mountain will be made of unnecessary actions. Okay, and then you will say, oh, why am I so feeling so weighty, and why is all this weight on me? Like, this weight is on you because you're creating this mountain of unnecessary actions which you are carrying then on your shoulders or
and
hands, like,
and
yeah.
you go on in the world pretend that they're necessary.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, there's nothing necessary about any of that. I mean, there's nothing necessary for any human being to do anything but an evolving action. There's nothing necessary for human being then to take control of their own body, and through that their own mind. I mean, there is nothing else which
but
is,
also
yeah,
the
yeah,
idea of survival, which you touch at one point in there, the word survive, should be SER, not SUR. So right there, we have a very faulty perception of what surviving is.
yeah. Surviving is not just like you're surviving your body. Like, you point is that you are having a body which is good enough to serve any higher being or purpose, higher purpose. So then your instrument is ready for doing that service. That's what, it's not just like, just making sure that your instrument exists. What survival is considered right now is just making sure that instrument exists at all. Like, okay, no, it is to keep your instrument at a level where it can actually do the work whatever is required for it or asked of it in any situation or circumstance. Yeah,
And we have such a powerful instrument that everyone has, and it has chords too, like a guitar. It's your voice. We
yeah,
should so much lift it. Me, that's what I've read. That's what I've discovered. I think, and all this is my voice.
yes, yes,
That's
yes.
the
I mean,
instrument
yeah,
I
yeah. I
need
mean,
to
to
go
be
around.
able, I mean, obviously, like, I mean, if you are not able to speak right now, or your that thing is there, and you don't have the energy to speak, or if you can't do any such thing, then your instrument is not of any purpose. So even for any positive thing or any positive cause, you are not able to do something. So survival is only for actually doing something real and something good for higher and divine cause. That's where it becomes serv Bible, like, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Ego, big, big, small words, but for some people it means so much.
yes, yes,
Ego is simply the false knowing within one masquerading as a real knowing. We don't know. I realized myself that I didn't know nothing worth knowing. That's why
yes,
going
yes,
back to square one and start to relearn. For here in
yes,
Canada and US, I heard you say that in another video. People don't even know how to go to the toilet.
yes,
No,
yes,
we don't even know how to go to the toilet. We use toilet paper. That's
yes,
retarded. Then very
yes.
abrasive, very anyway. I won't go into details what toilet paper do. I think everyone can
Knows.
have had the experience once with toilet paper. But
Yeah.
just that, we don't even know how to use the body, how to treat it.
Yes, yes. I mean, they can be like that thing. Even if somebody uses a whole roll, they can still not clean there. Like,
Yeah,
even if you use the whole roll, you will not be clean. Like, I'm saying, there's no question of, like, so I mean, that's the reality of it. But people can't figure that out because their observation is not outside. Like, again, we talked about observation, observing. They can't observe anything, so they can't tell what is commonsensical, whether it's making sense or not. People do things just because everybody else is doing it. That's all. It's not on the basis of their individual observation of anything. Yes, like,
yeah, but sometimes with the comfort, the more soft it is, they think it's not going to be abrasive or stuff. And the
no, no,
worst
it's
is we go cut trees
yeah,
to
but it's always
really
going to be like, I mean, it's
wipe our
finally,
butt. It's so
it's
crazy.
finally friction. Friction is friction. I mean, only water is not frictionless like that.
Exact water.
Yeah, yeah,
But many people have that. They have that toilet, and then on the side they have that thing to
yeah.
wash yourself.
Bidet,
You just
they call
sit
it.
on it and you wash. It's very easy.
Yeah, I mean, but that is also stupid. That thing you can just have like a that thing, like a sprayer, or you can have a like a with the like a mug or something like that
Ah,
is more easier. Yeah, I mean, that bidet is also commonsensical. It's not impractical sort of device. It
yeah,
wastes a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of water. I mean, even
Yeah.
that cannot do it properly because your hands have to be involved, so
Water, water is the best.
yeah, and your
So
hands have to be
yeah.
involved.
So
Yeah,
ego energy needs to go for sure, but
yeah,
out of hell into heaven and beyond. That's where it's going for mine. Selfish. Selfish is a word also that many people, like I was under the impression that people were selfish, but when I started reading this, I'm like, no, no, we're just plain foolish. It's not
yes,
selfish. If I would be selfish, I would take care of myself more than that. I would
yes,
consider
yes,
the self at least.
yes, yes. Yeah, I
Crazy.
mean, that's what I said. Like, if you can't love yourself, you can't love anything in this
Exactly.
okay, like, you cannot, like, so okay, so having that is not selfish, like it's nothing selfish about it, like, it's actually the real thing. That's what the multiverse wants of you, to take care or be responsible or have love for yourself, like all these words again, like come in, and that's what it is, so
Yeah.
it's like, what people consider selfish, or this person cares about themselves. I mean, if they care about themselves, it's a very good thing. I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, I mean, I mean,
That's it. But if you
I mean,
stay foolish, if
yeah,
you stay in your foolish state, it will bring a lot of
problem to
insanity.
yourself and to others, like,
Yeah.
and yeah, yes, yeah, like, so yes, so,
You become very, very insane at one point. Like people, I think, very unnatural, very insane. That was my case. I recognized it. That's why I'm here. I want to change. I want
yes,
to relearn
yes,
how to live.
yes, yes,
So yeah.
yes, yes,
Then you go with opinion. Opinion, that's a very, I've never like, I don't, you know what? We don't look in general, we don't observe, but we don't even look at the words. We don't even look at the words because in the words you can make sense of a lot of things,
yeah,
especially opinion,
yeah,
pine. So
yeah,
extend a little bit.
yeah. Yeah, so the thing is, like, what I was saying, like, everybody here is an opinion, like everybody think, oh, I can have an opinion, I can have an opinion about, and people are doing debates. That's what's called debate, isn't it? When people with
Yeah,
varying opinions, like, clash with each other, and they all are saying their opinions, all of these people, different people. And the point is, to have an opinion, you have to be your pineal functioning, because that's the word means your pineal is giving you that opinion, like it's giving you that information which you are sharing with others. But these people's pineal is not functioning, so then you basically don't have any opinion. You are just talking out of your ass, what it's called, talking out of your ass, like, so so
that's it. You're
so when
being
you're
a
talking out of
parrot.
your ass, then that is not an opinion, and it does not matter. I mean, it's not based on any kind of reality or multiversal law or pure principle or anything which is real. So yeah, yeah, so then that's why these opinions don't matter. And that's why you see headlines like opinions matter everywhere, like, in newspapers and that things, in magazines and all over this world, like, your opinion matters. I mean, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter at all, because you have no opinion to begin with, like, so yeah, like,
First of all, you have a very faulty perception of life, of your
yeah,
own being, of your
yeah.
everything that surrounds you, and then you have opinion. Like I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
you,
it's to boost ego, people's ego. Like, companies ask you, like, your opinion matters, and then you fill up a form and give your opinion, and they say, like, so that just to fool people and stuff like that. This is just a
yeah,
device to fool people and put them up on a pedestal, and when where they are not, and giving them the sense, oh, like, you are something great, like your opinion matters, and it's when nothing really matters at all, like, in that case, like,
exactly.
so yeah,
After you go on with emotion, and that's a big, big one because that's what I do each and every day. Deposit in my emotional bank account. I want a big, big emotional bank account. I want to have galactic emotions, like you say.
yeah,
But here, the emotions, like, does people even have emotion, real emotion? Like, I
no,
mean, I don't know. I see sometime them repeating a lot the same stuff each and every day. So
yeah. I
the
mean,
emotion is
I,
low
I mean,
vibe.
I mean, emotion is any energy in motion. E
Yeah,
is energy. So any energy in motion. Okay. So, like, okay, people have energy in motion, but that energy in motion can be scattered. It doesn't have to be coherent, or it doesn't have to make sense. Like, from right now to 10 years, like, the whole energy in motion they have, whether it makes sense as a whole or not, then it is a proper coherent emotion. Otherwise, it's a scattered emotion, which is, because energy in motion, every being will have, any being which exists will have energy which is in motion. Okay, now how that energy is in motion is a different matter completely. like, so. And so, yeah, yeah,
Where you direct your energy each and every day,
each
why
and every
people
second,
feel, huh?
each and every second, like, yeah,
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 that's it, and
yeah,
that builds up that state of bliss that we were
yeah,
talking also
yes,
prior.
yes,
It's check your emotion. Also, knowing your emotional state is knowing thyself. Is that what you can say when a being control is emotional state? Like if I don't react and I respond and I'm not in anger, and like when the situation arises that would normally trigger anger, but then I know what's my trigger, and
yeah.
I respond better, not with anger, but with love. And is that knowing yourself better?
But no, no, no. The thing with energy in motion is first this, that your energy in motion is first through your body. Okay, because your body is the one which acts. Okay,
Okay.
so the more control you have over your body, okay, the more energy you can channel better. Your energy in motion would be better. Okay, so it starts with the body. Actually, it doesn't start with the mind, or it doesn't start with mental triggers, or it doesn't start with mental responses or mental emotional, which people think emotional is a mental thing, actually, but it is not. It is a body thing first. Okay, there's a body emotion, like, which is what people call dance, or people call any kind of thing, or people call different things, but that is the actual emotion is first energy in motion in physical body form. That is what we have as human being out
Okay.
here. Okay, so that is the thing which we have to control first. Okay, the mental part of it, the psychological part of it will take care of itself after that. Okay,
And
okay,
energy,
you
yeah,
don't have
we
to do
haven't.
something special. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
we can generate
yeah,
great energy. Also, we're like a power plant. I'm like a power
yeah,
plant. I can generate
yeah,
energy.
yeah, but without discipline of the body, you cannot have coherent energy in motion
Yeah,
in this aspect of incarnation and physical incarnation which beings are in. You cannot have that without the physical discipline. So physical discipline is the key to that completely.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Divine's avatar intent. Here you go. Because most people, that's what we hear a lot. They hope that God will, or divine will come down on earth and come down, Jaja. I even heard that in the
yeah,
reggae song, "Come Down, Jaja." I'm like, okay, what you think someone's gonna come down and solve the all the mess here? It's up to us
I
to
mean,
take
I mean the
responsibility.
thing is, mess can always be solved. That's not a problem. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, like, the thing is that higher forces, divine forces can solve any mess. That's not a problem. Only thing is, it'll not solve anything for you. Okay, I mean, it'll be solved for the earth. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
like, the situation out on earth will become fine. Okay, what will happen to you is that you'll be sent to some other part of the universe which is called hell, like, where you'll be under that thing. So solution will happen. It's not like the solution will not happen, but it won't be for you, like, what you consider a solution for yourself. So when you have to solve things for yourself, then you have to do what the higher and divine tells that this is the right thing to do. Then you have to do that. If you don't do that, that is up to you, because you will solve for yourself, like, as a whole, on a collective level, on a earth plane, this plane level, that can be solved by higher beings. They can solve it anytime. They can solve that in 5 minutes. Okay, there is
Okay.
no problem in solving anything out here. Like, that's a little like a Lego card game for them. Like, it's nothing. Like, all this, whatever
Yeah,
humans have done out here is nothing much at all. Like, it's like it's a tiny little thing. It's nothing. Yeah,
like there's
yeah,
nothing really in nature out of
yeah,
control. Like
yeah,
things
yes,
are
yes,
under control, working patiently.
yeah,
The river
yeah,
flow, everything, the wind blows.
yeah,
The
yeah.
season change.
Yeah,
Okay,
and people
so
think that they polluted the earth so much, or whatever the pollution. There's no pollution, nothing which cannot be reversed in 5 minutes. Okay, so there is nothing. People think there's a huge problem, huge mess. There's nothing like that. Okay,
I
there
think
is
it's a
no
lot
such thing.
propaganda.
Yeah, this is propaganda and stuff like that. Okay,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
The age-old question. That's a good one because I think you go. What are beings created for?
yeah,
That's a question that many people have that lingers in their mind, and you can go on a whole life like that,
yeah, yeah,
wondering what's your life about, what's like. Some people like Not the, let alone that we don't know how to go to the toilet. Like, we don't even know what life is for. Like, we're so,
Yes,
and life is
yes,
so precious. It's the only experience we're gonna have. It's a divine experience.
yes,
But
yes.
then we pass it wandering all our life.
Yeah, but the point is that all existence the was created for experiencing bliss and pleasure and higher that things. That's what it was created for. But the thing was that obviously once beings were experiencing all of that, and the thing was that once when some beings went against the natural law and the divine law, and that's when they started suffering. So that's when suffering came into being. So when you start suffering, then you don't like the creation very much, because then now it's not fun anymore. If it's fun, then everyone is happy, like everyone is likes to have fun. Okay, like there's nobody who does not like to have fun. So then that's, as long as it stays fun, then it's fun. But once it becomes a suffering, which is your own creation, okay, then you don't like it. Then you start questioning the purpose of existence itself, because now your existence is not so very good, like it's bad. Okay, now so then you have to take that point term to make it from bad to good again, instead of complaining and whining and whinging. Okay, like that, look, my existence is so bad, why is this existence created itself? That's the kind of thoughts which come to beings at that time. Okay, but you can't unexist, you can't delete yourself. This is not a computer game where, like, you just press delete, or like that things, press unexistence button, like that, choose to unexist. Okay, no, you will keep on existing whether you like it or not, but in a bad circumstance. So what you can do is, you can actually improve your circumstance. For that, you'll have to do something. Okay, and that is taking responsibility. Okay, so beings, a lot of beings which think in terms of suicide, and a lot of people commit suicide even. Okay, they don't realize that, that is another epilogue, so we'll discuss that at that point.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's, yeah,
We come to this life, but like I say, even the perception of life. What is life for? What is life to me today? It's, I had a sense a bit, but today it's very clear that it's a preparation. It's a preparation for, maybe, I don't know for sure, but there's got to be something like in my life.
yeah. I mean, it's for having a better experience. It's for having a positive experience, better experience. Like
Yeah,
life is about having and continuously evolving your experience. Actually, like, you don't want to be stuck at a lower level of experience where it is like a pain and a torture and a boredom and nonsense for you, like, and negative overall. Yeah, yeah. So
because it's a different process than preparing yourself for afterlife than preparing your lunch to go to work the next day. It's a very different preparation.
yeah, yeah, yes, yes, obviously.
We
Yeah,
agree
and
with that.
yeah, yeah, and obviously what you make for lunch is also part of that
Yeah, yeah.
preparation. Yeah, yeah, yes. Okay, like, so that is also part of it. So what I'm saying is, but it is a overall, like, but people obviously do not prepare for that big journey after this physical body, which is like that thing. So little journeys out here, people prepare much more for than they prepare for that, like, so.
And again, it's not the preparation to live. It's very different, because life is about living. It's about living in the moment, being here. So it's not the
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
preparation
like,
to
I mean,
live your life in this life
I
to
mean,
access an afterlife.
yeah, I mean,
Living
yeah,
life.
obviously, once you know more about afterlife and death and that thing, and once you're ready for that, then it becomes easier to live here. Like,
Exactly.
it becomes much more easier to live in this moment properly and easily, without having all those fears and negativities which are attached with death. And people fear death a whole lot. Most of the beings do, because because they don't know what's coming next, and they have no idea, and they have no clue. And a lot of times they have done a lot of wrong karma here right now, and then they are fearing that thing of it. So there's a whole lot of fear which is generated from that kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So then it is not easy to live here in a pleasant, easy way. Like, then, like, yes, yeah,
Then you go with your observation in the matrix, and first the prison matrix. Like, if you don't know you're in prison, how do you want to escape it? It's common sense. Everyone knows that. But
yeah,
the thing is, we don't know that we don't know that we don't know that we're in the prison. That was my case.
yes,
5 years
yes,
ago, 4 years ago, I didn't know. Very low awareness, like no awareness at all. Like
yes, yes.
I go back, it's like it knows no awareness. It's like I can't even
I mean,
describe
because the point is, you can't see the bars here. it's not so easy. Like if you're in a prison with the bars, then you can see the bars. Okay, these are the bars. Like I can't go out of this room like here. But here you can't see the bars that clearly, easily. Like like
Uh,
so yeah,
I see
yeah.
the bar. I see the bar.
Now
There is a lot here in Canada and US bars where you
yeah,
go drink. That's probably the bar I see in this prison, and many people end up in behind those kind of bar.
yeah, bars. But again, they cannot see it as bar. They see it as something good or something fun. Like it's not seen as a bar. Bars, like
Yeah.
so these iron bars or that bars, or you can't see the bars there. You can't see that you are actually in a prison. That thing here. People have little bit of movement here. They can go from point A to point B. If in Canada, they can go from Vancouver to Quebec to that thing to whatever Alberta. Then they think that they have freedom. They're not in a prison because obviously they are moving from here to there to here to there. Then they think that there is some uh, like like that you're not in a prison. But so to get to that, you need a little more awareness than beings have, and for that you have to actually observe, and you actually have to be honest. Observation and honesty are the key factors, and yeah.
And that's probably the hardest prison you're going to break out in your life is that matrix, is that prison in your mind, is that prison stage that you're in. Like, do you agree with that?
Yes, obviously that is lack of like that's ignorance basically.
Yeah.
What you'll call it is a prison of ignorance.
Yeah,
Okay, you don't know, but when you don't know, you have to admit that you don't know. That admitting, once you admit that you don't know, then you can find out, right? If
exactly.
you can find out if you admit that you don't know, but if you continue saying, "Ah, but I know," then you will never, like, then there is no movement possible of any kind of actual knowing and that thing. So so
Exactly.
that's an important thing. Yes, yes.
And we're going to finish today with the reality as it is, okay? And most people completely refuse to see reality as it is. I was
Yeah.
a bit like that until something happened, a tragedy, or what? Why do we need like something to come and shake us so we open our eyes to life and start
No,
just
it's
like if you're, I say often, if you're confused, if you don't know, look at the sun. Look at the sun.
yeah, yeah, but the
Everything
thing is
come
that
clear.
it's natural. Like if like like if somebody's that thing, sleeping, and you're trying to wake them up, and if you do a little tick tick, they won't wake up. Then you'll do something more sound if they don't wake up. Then finally you will shake them if they don't wake up. Then you might throw water on them, like, so the thing will keep on increasing. Okay, like it's not like then the nature has to create a more of a that thing,
Yeah.
like a
Something
louder
to,
bang,
yeah.
yeah, to wake you up, like, like, so that's why it happens. That's why it takes a more of a event to shake people up rather than like something light or something, that thing.
In your case, did it took you what happened in your life for you to start because at one point, I mean, were you always like, I think I have asked you prior, but I don't know,
Yeah,
we've
I
done
mean,
many
the thing
stuff
is,
together, but was
obviously,
it
like though, even though we are all born in this world, okay, but we are not born in the similar circumstance, similar situation, or then similar mindsets or similar that things. Like
okay?
we are all in very different worlds out here, even, okay, beings. Even though we might be like in the same earth, like, but beings are in different worlds completely. Okay, so where I was born and what I my thing was that I had these kind of questions at age of 4 and 5, even, like, so. So for me, like like my situation was like an alien out here, like basically, like where you are that thing, you are like, what is all this? Where am I? Where am I? What is this? Like this kind of situation. If you are put into another planet right now, immediately you don't know anything about that planet, and you have got no idea. You are a new person. You don't know what people are there, do anything. Then you'll be like same. You'll be feeling like, what is all this? Where am I? What? So that kind of situation for me. So I didn't
Okay,
need any
you
kind of
felt
that thing to
like
wake me up or anything. Just being here was enough of a thing for
enough
me.
of the
Like,
trauma.
yeah, 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 yeah. Like, so, so
It is very traumatizing when you look around and you look at beings around. Sometimes I don't know. I prefer not to, like you say.
yeah,
Sometimes there's nothing to be said to some people that don't want to see the reality, that don't want to face, because the reality is facing the reality of your own being first. That's the first reality you must face. Then
yeah.
I think the rest will. Like the words will come, you will encounter people like you come my
Yeah.
way to give me a bit of clarity, to also shake me a bit more, and
Yes.
sustain like I think that's the work the
Yeah,
divine
I mean, that's the whole thing. That's the good thing about YouTube and stuff. Like, finally, like, people can hear that kind of
yeah,
thing, and then they can make their own decision. I mean, there is no force on them to like this or that or whatever, but they can listen and find out, because right now those kind of tools are there, like, where something from my world can interact with this people in other world, like, because they're on the same earth, but they're in the same, not in the same world, like I said. Like, so if I'm like speaking to people or anything, or you or anybody, obviously I'm like changing myself to like uh, be understood by those people, because what I'm coming from otherwise will not be understood to them in any way, shape, or form. Like my existence or my way of being and what I'm coming from is quite alien to them. Like, actually, like, even on this earth. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not like so people think that human beings on earth are all the same. People don't understand that there's a lot of different kind of things on earth, even, and different kind of gene pools and different kind of that things, and which are at different levels of different beings, and all kinds of things are here. So people should not think that we are all just like the same, and this, in the same kind of thing, and it's not like that at all, so.
But a lot of that perception come from because we see the world as we are, not as the world as it is. We see the
Yeah,
world
yeah,
as we are. Like my
yeah,
being is the reflection of the world. Like if I'm negative today
yeah.
or I'm very depressed, well, the whole world is negative and depressed. Like it's not
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. It's not like, I mean, it's not like that. I mean, and nothing what your perception is going to change the world or anything. That will stay like what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, like, I mean,
The sun will
it's
still
not.
shine tomorrow, even if you're
Yeah, yeah,
crabby and
yeah,
depressed. It will still shine, and
yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah,
it. And
yeah. Yeah,
so,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's a
that's what
good
it
note
is.
to end today's thing. I think there's enough information, I think, for people to digest and like
Yeah,
get. I mean,
exactly.
this is, yeah,
So, thank you very much, Master PT. We'll be back probably next Wednesday again. You let me know if anything during
yeah,
that
yeah.
time.
I will,
But
I will, I will, I will. Like,
yeah, yeah.
all
So,
things being the same. Yes.
give thanks
Okay.
for life, rise and
Yes.
shine. That's my message. And we
Yes.
see each other again next Wednesday. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Okay. Okay.